Hey everybody, Tony Gohard here yet again for Punx Doing Stuff, and today we are getting into the Detroit hardcore scene. Now this scene has interested me for a bit because I've heard some of the bands that are on here, and this video is going to come out kind of discombobulated. This is the first time trying to do a good sized video in kind of a while. Rebecca's also inside the other room right now playing some video games, so you'll probably hear some shouting in the background, but that's not anything that's too important right now. We're just getting into the video. So, let me get this thing straightened out so I can read it better. Detroit hardcore. We're going to start off with a Negative Approach, and all of this stuff is handwritten, so I'm probably going to stumble along my own words trying to read this because I write terribly, and a lot of the stuff is crossed out because I miswrote things. It's just the way that I do things. Eventually I'm going to get around to being able to read stuff that's like properly printed or like straight from a tablet, but that's just the way that things are right now. So, Negative Approach is an American hardcore punk band formed in Detroit, Michigan in 1981. The band is considered among the pioneering of hardcore punk, particularly in the Midwest region. Like most hardcore bands, they were little known in its day outside of its hometown. It is how idolized in Detroit underground that Detroit underground and punk subculture considered the elite band of the old school era and continue to be influential. Negative Approach initially broke up in 1984 with singer John Barron moving to the Laughing Hyenas and later Easy Action, but the band was reformed as 2006 and continued to tour sporadically. Negative Approach was formed in August 1981 in Detroit by Brannon and Pete Zalewski, supposedly after seeing a Black Flag and Necro show. And his first show was in the basement of Necro's drummer Todd Swalla mother's home. Soon after they recorded a demo, they followed that up with then, again, handwritten stuff. Appearance on the Process of Elimination Comp 7-inch released and Tesco V's of Meatmen's new label Touch and Go, which was first named after his fanzine. NA, Meatmen, and Necros did the Process of Elimination tour, which was only 3 shows at Boston, New York, and Washington, but is cited as a major event in the early spread of hardcore. So there we go. We got a little bit of history about the band. Again, there are like full pages on this stuff that you can look up on like Wikipedia or whatever, and I'm pretty sure that's where I got the majority of the information for this video. So you can go and check that out, but I'm going to drop a small little sample, just a tiny little clip, just enough to hopefully not get me copyright whatever, but we're going to do that, and I'm not even sure which song I'm going to pick, but I'm going to put something there, and then we'll continue on. The Meatmen are an American punk band headed by Tesco V, originally existing from 1981 to 1988 before reforming in the mid-90s and again in the 2000s. They were known for their outrageous stage antics and offensive lyrics. They reformed in 2008 and continued to tour and record. The Meatmen made their record debut with the song Meatmen Stomp, which appeared on the 1981 7-inch comp Process of Elimination on Touch and Go Records, an offshoot of the fanzine of the same name that V co-founded in 1979. So there we go. We got just a tiny little bit of information there. I am going to drop a clip in also. Again, same thing. I don't know exactly what song I was going to put because I had a playlist of different bands. Generally, that's the way that I do it, is I'll make a playlist of different bands and listen to it. This one, for some reason, it didn't save. I only got the first 2 on there for whatever reason. So I'll have to randomly pick the songs and just drop them into the video. But yeah, I'm going to put just a tiny little section in there, and I'll be back for the next bit. Cold is Life, an American punk band based out of Detroit, formed in 1988. Lyrical themes consisted of brutal depictions of horrors of growing up and living in a city plagued with corruption, murder, drugs, depression, and poverty, along with the tragedy of losing friends, family, and bandmates to murder, drug use. Their shows were frequently violent, involving vicious fights that often included stabbings and beatings with various weapons. However, Cold as Life has a large family-based following. Stories of these shows would spread throughout the Midwest, punk and hardcore communities, adding to the band's notoriety. Cold as Life drew musical influence from such bands as Negative Approach, Sheer Terror, Discharge, Foreskins, Cro-Mags, Black Sabbath, and Slayer. In early 2007, a reunion tour was organized by former members, but featured Enzo D and Jake Bulldog, a fellow Detroit band, Dogs of War, on vocals and guitar, instead of co-founder Jeff Gunnels. On June 4, 2013, Jeff Gunnels was sentenced to 20 to 10 years in prison for armed robbery, as Cold as Life formed once again in 2015 and have played sporadically since. So, got quite a bit of history in there, quite a bit of turmoil, different craziness, and the music is definitely solid, but you're going to have solid music that comes from rough times. Definitely, definitely. So, we're going to drop a little bit in there, and then I will be back with the final band. I initially thought that I had 5 written down, but I guess I only had 4. So, we're going to jump into that. But before I get into that, I'm going to drop the clip in right here. Alright, so before we start up on the final band that I have picked here, drinking too much Monster too fast. But before I jump into the final band here, what I need you to do is hit that like button, subscribe, drop a comment in the comment box, let me know what's up, let me know if you like these bands, other bands that I should check out, things like that. And don't forget to check out the Patreon. Checking out the Patreon, subscribing to that thing, doing some donation, that helps me a lot to be able to do videos like this and all of my other various videos for other channels. Definitely do that. You will get your name put on the end card that's going to be in the end of this video. Right now, I think it, I can't even remember what I put on there, but it says join the Patreon or something, and then it says from EXO, whatever, could be you, something along those lines. But you can do that, jump on that Patreon, and then your name will be shown up at the end credits, and it'll be awesome, trust me. Also, there's other social media links and other things. Just check it out. Click on the more information button or whatever underneath the video, and you'll be able to access all of that, as well as the videos, like the full videos that I put the little clips in, and different stuff for the different bands. So go and check that out. You won't be disappointed. And another thing that you won't be disappointed with is this band, because Suicide Machines, I did see them live years ago. I'm pretty sure it was Warped Tour, but we're gonna get into their history right here. Suicide Machines, all of these start the same. Suicide Machines are an American punk rock band formed in 1991 in Detroit. During the course of their career, the band has released 7 full-length albums as well as several EPs and singles. They have experienced lineup changes over the years, all with founding member Jason Navarro as lead singer and frontman. The band's musical style initially blended elements of punk rock, ska, and hardcore into genres popularly known as ska punk or ska core, which characterized the first 2 albums. After a brief foray in a more radio-friendly direction, they shifted back to their mid-90s style, bringing back the ska punk and heavy ferocity with strong political overtones that draw from hardcore punk. The Suicide Machines have achieved a high level of underground recognition through relentless touring, including multiple performances on Warped Tour, Riot Fest, and for many years on their annual hometown Black Christmas show. Yeah, so I guess... So I guess it was Warped Tour. But yeah, these guys, definitely awesome. That was the way that my drummer for my first band, he had initially introduced me to them, and he was like, oh yeah, these guys are awesome. They have like they'll be playing like ska and then just jump straight into hardcore punk, and I was like, hell yeah, that sounds like my jam. So that was Suicide Machines. That was the end of the video. Like I said, hit that like button, subscribe, drop comments in the comment box, check out all the other things and the various stuff, and I will catch y'all in the next video.